Hi guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. Now in this video I'm going to be talking about how to trade Forex with support and resistance. Now in my last video that I published, I explained extensively on what support and resistance are and what they are, how they can be plotted. I also explained that support and resistance are better drawn from higher time frames rather than on lower time frames. But in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to trade Forex using support and resistance. First of all, there are two main ways to trade Forex with support and resistance. First is the bounce, and then second is the break. I'm going to put it somewhere here with my text too. The first is the bounce, and then the second is the break. First is the bounce, and then the second is the break. I'm going to take my time to explain both of them in detail so you can have a better understanding of how to use both of them to the break. Yes, so these are the two ways of trading support and resistance. The bounce and then the break. Let's take the first one, the bounce. Now for the bounce, you are anticipating price to approach a key support or resistance level and then bounce up that level before you take a trade. Take for instance, look at around this period right here. Price go to this key resistance level and then bounced off it to the downside. Now in this case, this would have been a good sell opportunity. The same thing happened here, even back then here. Around June 2025, price was moving up. Price goes to this resistance zone, and then price actually broke above it, and then came back down with a rejection and bounced to the downside. The same thing happened here. Price was coming down. Price got here, and then bounced to the upside. The same thing happened here again. After price go to this resistance zone, price bounced up it again, and then the same thing happened here as well. Price bounced to the upside. The same thing happened here. You can see the bounce here, another bounce here. Now this one is not a bounce. This is the second one, the break, and I'm going to explain the break. You can see another bounce here, another bounce, and then you can also see another break right here. Now at the moment, I'm anticipating another bounce here. As you can see, this resistance, this yellow bar, which is acting as a resistance. Price has gotten here, the next daily candle has been red, the next one has been red, the third and fourth have been green, the next one have been red. As a matter of fact, I'm anticipating the price to drop into this support zone right here. Anything can happen, but I'm anticipating a drop on price. Let me show you another pair. Let's take a look at USD CHF. I can give you more examples of the bounce. Now take a look at this. Look at this nice movement all the way down. Your price got here and then bounced up this yellow support zone. Price got here again, was coming down. Price got here again, then bounced up the yellow support zone again. The same thing happened here. Price goes to this resistance zone and then bounced off it. Price was heading higher, got to the resistance zone again, bounced off it. Price go to this support zone, bounced to the upside. Price go to this resistance zone, which also doubled as a trend line, and then bounced to the downside. So with the bounce, you are anticipating price to bounce off a certain support or resistance zone before taking the trade. Okay, that's the bounce. Let me take a look at AUD card. Yeah, the same thing also, you can see the same thing on AUD card. Look at price. Go to this resistance zone, bounced off, got back there again, bounced off, tested it again, bounced off, tested it again, bounced off, tested again, bounced off, before finally breaking out. And again, the same thing happened here again. Price go to this yellow resistance bar again, bounced off it. Price got here again, could not break above, bounced off it. But right now, from what we have here, I'm anticipating price to break above this yellow resistance zone, come and test this blue resistance right here. So that's for the bounce. The second way of trading support and resistance is the break. The second way is the break. Wait, where did it go to? I wrote it now. Where did it go to? The second is the break. Let me bring this down a little bit before we continue. Now with the break, the idea is that you're anticipating price to break out of a certain support or resistance zone. You're anticipating the breakout with particular support or resistance zone. Case in point, some right here. You see what happened right here, August 19, 2025. And you can see with this daily count, price broke above this resistance zone. This right here is also called a breakout. The same thing has happened recently again. September 24th. You can see this clear breakout out of this resistance zone. Price broke out of this resistance zone right here. If we go back in time, you can see many occasions of breakouts. This right here was also another breakout. This right here was also another breakout. And even this, I will not consider this a breakout. This was a slippage. I will not consider this a breakout. This was another breakout right here. This was also another breakout. Let's take a look at AUD card. Looking at AUD card, you can see this clear breakout right here. This breakout. And you see, this was another example of a breakout. And then this is also another example of a breakout. This is also another example of a breakout. And this right here is also another example of a breakout. Also, this is also another example of a breakout. So the idea with the breakout is that you want price to break out of a certain support or resistance level before taking a trade. Now, there are some things you need to be aware of. Actually, there is something you need to be aware of when you do support and resistance. Okay? The first is that you want a convincing bounce or a convincing break. You want price to give you a convincing bounce or a convincing break. It's not every bounce that you trade. You want price to give you a convincing bounce or a convincing break. Very important. It's very important to wait for a convincing bounce. When I say a convincing bounce or a convincing break, take a look at this. As you can see, this first daily candle closed below this resistance, but the next daily candle not only broke above it, we can see it broke above it with a lot of pips. A lot. So you want to wait for a convincing bounce or a convincing break. Take a look at this now. This was a convincing bounce of this support. This right here was also another convincing bounce. This again is also another convincing bounce. This is also another convincing bounce. You want price to give you a convincing bounce before you take a trade. Not all bounces are good bounces, and not all breaks are good breaks. You want to wait for convincing bounces and convincing breaks before I take that trade. Alright? Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope I have helped you. I hope you have found value in this video. If you have gotten any value from this video, I would like you to please kindly hit that like button and drop me a comment in the comment section. You can tell me what you think about this video and how you think I can improve my videos. And also please kindly hit that subscribe button. You see it somewhere down there around your screen. Kindly hit that subscribe button and drop me a like and drop me a comment in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one.